Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Wizards Outlook. We got Cardo Dudley Jr. here. I'm Wilson Tarpe Jr. And, the Washington Wizards snapped a three-game skid today. Well, tonight, rather, with a 117-113 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. Rather impressive win at that. Cardell, you were in the building. Your thoughts on this win by Washington, knowing that both teams were missing some folks. Like let's just call it what it is. Milwaukee didn't have Dame. Washington was missing several players. That said, Washington gets a big win.
Yeah, man, it's impressive. Competitive from start to finish. The Wizards started out high, and they finished high, man. I just think they got key stops when they need them, especially down the stretch, man. And well, the one thing I love, man, they stay pretty sound defensively. Like I know, I know the stat line that Giannis had, and they targeted him. They targeted Anthony Gill, but I'm gonna give him his props, man. He stayed in it. He fought. He fought all game, and at the end, he got his fair share of wins, which I feel was big in being able to hold on for the win. And Jared Butler, you can't say enough about him off the bench, man. He was called that Baylor defense on the national championship game, man. You know what I'm saying? He brought that tonight, and he was giving them fits. He was giving them fits to the point where only Patrick Beverly could bring the ball up. You know what I mean? Connaughton and Beasley and those guys, man, they weren't comfortable. And if he wasn't getting a steal, he was deflecting the ball off of him. He was making it harder for them to pass to get into the set. And even with Giannis trying to play point, it took him out of rhythm. And so that's why you saw a lot of high-low game between him and Brook Lopez trying to target Gill. And I think to counteract that, man, the Bucks never got in the rhythm, and the Wizards had a big part of that. You know, they really did, man. And so it was great to see. The offense was there, but it was good to see them win a game getting stops. You know what I mean? And you can see what they're playing as, and it's the plan that we've been talking about for the last few weeks with the season. You know, pretty much they don't have nothing to play for, you know, in the postseason whereas young fellas, they got to grow up. They see what they got, and they're showing a lot. You know, they are. They're growing up. They get minutes. They get confident, and they put it together, man. Corey Kispert, him and Denny, to get the two-man game that they played, they led this team to a win tonight. They did, man, and they were consistent on offense and held up on defense. And, you know, and I don't know what it is about Denny. Ever since he got drafted, he loves seeing the Bucks. It's just something about the Bucks when he balls against them. He does, man. And you got to give him all the credit in the world, man. So, I love, you know, I like it, man. If this is something, a forecast of the future, yeah, that turnaround will come pretty quick and probably be here next season, man. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I was just encouraged. You know, we've been seeing over the past several games. I don't even want to say few, but maybe over the past 8 to 10 games, maybe, right, where we've seen them do the thing they've struggled with, which was they're able to take punches and respond now. They didn't do that like for most of the season, and something we talked about at length. While their counterpunch might not be as potent as teams with more firepower, them responding, it's going a long way because we've seen them build double-digit leads, and sometimes just having a response buys you some time. And this was another one of those games where they were able to respond. You talked about the two-man game with Avdia and Kispert. I thought Corey was outstanding tonight. I know sometimes they go away from Corey times when he gets going. I thought he did a good job not settling for the three. You saw his whole game on display. And just the toughness too. Like, y'all missing bigs. He went down there. Those 7 rebounds mattered when you're playing the Bucks. All boards matter when you're playing the Bucks and you're missing bigs. Obviously they lost on the glass, but those possessions matter. You mentioned Jared Butler. Some of the young guys take advantage of the opportunity. He's continued to grow in those opportunities. 17 minutes tonight. He's getting better and better with these shared opportunities. 17 points, 3 assists, 2 steals, and like you said, raising complete and utter hell on the defensive end. And even young boy, he just got off the plane. He hasn't been here for a month.
Vucevic.
I love it. Yep. I love it. I like the balance that he'll take a 3, and then he sprints his butt back on defense and gets ready to go bang. It's a welcome sight. And again, we're talking about being opportunistic, right? No, Bagley gets hurt in this one. Hopefully, it's not as bad as it looked. No Rashawn Holmes. The kid stole 31 minutes tonight.
Look, man, I'm look. I'm trying to look. I'm really trying to figure out how the Wizards won this game. To be honest, look at this, man. So the Wizards, believe it or not, they won the points in the paint, 70-56. Fine, cool. Milwaukee won second chance points, 23-4. They won bench points, 41-35. They won a rebounding battle, 57-44, and the assist battle, 31-26. The Wizards won the fast break points, 18-10, and they had 11-8 points off turnovers. I mean, and the Bucks made 2 more threes than the Wizards. And they pretty much were even, in the free throw department. I know the Wizards shot better percentage, 14-17. The Bucks were 12-18. Like, you gotta call a spade a spade. But the Wizards shot 50% from the field. The Bucks shot 43. You gotta call a spade a spade. And this was the fear, and this was the concern coming in the season when they made that trade. On the perimeter, and Pat Bev, I think he got banged up and he left the game. That was a big blow as well. You take him out of the equation, they don't really have anybody that can guard people consistently, man. Because you saw the Wizards lining them up and running on them all day. As much as Giannis and Brook Lopez was targeting Gill and their front line inside to try to abuse him, and Giannis abused him. We're not going to sit up here and act like he didn't. It wasn't enough because they couldn't guard the guys on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pooh, he had 16 points to 13 assists. We didn't even mention that. Like, he was the only 3 turnovers, 6 of 14. He did his job, man. He had a hell of a game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Denny, I just said 23, 8 and 5, 10 of 17. Kisper, 27 and 7, 10 of 18. Gill, 12 points, 6 of 11, 9 rebounds, and he had to deal with the monster. Arguably the best player in the game. That Butler coming off the bench, 17 points on 7 of 10. 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. Vucevic, 14 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists off the bench. They were deadly efficient, man. So when they took shots, they made them count. You know what I'm saying? And then they held up defensively. They just competed. And now I hope people see the difference between now and early in the season when they couldn't stop a nosebleed. They couldn't stop nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just they couldn't stop themselves. They still were scoring themselves. Like, it was bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden they're showing more of a post because they got some young, hungry guys in there that wants to keep their job in the league and wants to keep a home. So the Jared Butler we saw tonight, he looked like Baylor Jared Butler. He's like, oh man, that'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? So I love him. I'm like dumbfounded because you wouldn't expect it, and it's a hell of a win because the Bucks, they need to win. They need to win. They're trying to keep pace with the Celtics on court, but look, man, they can't guard. I mean, you've seen it. You've seen it tonight. They struggle guarding. You know what I'm saying? And they don't really have much backcourt depth. Pat Connaughton's the 2. AJ Green has some good moments and stuff like that. Beasley, and it don't get no better with Dame, but Dame can offset it with his shooting and scoring ability. There's a lot of pressure on Giannis in the front court to have to defend. And even Bobby Portis, he couldn't guard them. So it's a lot of pressure, man, on those guys to have to get it done, man. So we'll see how it goes, but impressive win, man. Impressive for the Wizards.
Yeah, what you mentioned, what they lost in that trade was being able, like at the point of attack, Milwaukee's bigs are in a horrible place because they can't stop folks. They can't count on perimeter players to stop folks. There was that long stretch, I think, in the first half, that Giannis picked up his second foul. Right, there was nothing keeping Washington out the paint. Washington, I think I saw it correctly. Washington had more points in the paint in this game than Milwaukee did. Even counting what Giannis did. Take Giannis' stat line aside. Nobody else in Milwaukee was doing a bunch of damage. So if Giannis had 35, and if they had 56 points in the paint as a team.
Yeah, the majority of that. And then Portis got busy in the paint a little bit. Chris Middleton got in there, his short mid-range. Look, honestly, Chris Middleton and Giannis were the only one that had games you would expect out of them. Pat Connaughton stepped up. He had 15. Bobby Portis, 12 and 12. But like I just said, I just named off about 5 or 6 Wizards that had some games. You know what I mean? But the Bucks only had about 4 players that showed up tonight, man. You got to get more out your backcourt. You know, Beasley and Pat Bev, 7 points between them. And that goes to show you. And with that being said, because Giannis no went off, they still lost by 4. So they're not far off from getting it right, but they're not there yet. And it's alarming because the playoffs are around the corner.
The playoffs are right here. Like you said, the teams coming in right now, they have everything to play for. Like them in Washington on opposite end of the spectrum, which is why a win like this is so impressive. You don't have anything to play for. You know, your season's effectively been over for a little bit now. But yeah, the young guys, I just walked away thoroughly impressed by the youngsters. Just their willingness to compete, and it goes a long way. It's what you, Ray, have been talking about ad nauseum the first half of the season. Nobody was asking them to do anything crazy. Just fight. Just fight. Saying that this isn't the league of old. Just fighting goes a long way. Competing for 4 quarters sometimes get you wins in today's league, or keeps you in games. All right, so get to player of the game for tonight. Who you have?
Corey Kessler, easy. He was locked in. He was dialed in, man. And hitting those threes, spreading the floor like that, open things up a lot for the Wizards. And they got to go in that one-on-one game and exploit, the mismatches that the Bucks have, and they exploited it. And that's a big part of why they won.
Yeah, I just thought everything you said, just to piggyback on it. He's what he is now is not. He's not is a perfect example of how much he's grown since he got drafted. Like it's not just. He's not just a shooter. You run him off the line now. There's a bunch of answers. There's things that he can do. His whole game was on display tonight, and I was happy that he kept attacking. Again, 27 points, 10 to 18 from an efficiency standpoint. What more can you ask for? And that's his size in a game like this definitely helped, because we talk about Milwaukee and what they don't have on a perimeter. Him being 6'7" mattered tonight at times. For X Factor, who you have?
I'm gonna give it to Jared Butler. 17, 3 and 3, 2 steals, and his defense sparked everything. His defense sparked his offense. He caused them problems, and I think the Wizards gained confidence from seeing him pressure guys in the backcourt, and then they started pressuring guys, man. So they were just on the string, man. And like I said, even Anthony Gill, man, I gotta keep harping on him, man. I know Giannis had a crazy stat line, man, but truthfully, Giannis was in kill mode. He especially in the third and fourth. He facilitated at first, and when he saw like they really wasn't closing that gap like that, he got aggressive. And if it was up to him, he would have had 40, 20, and 20. You know what I'm saying? But Gil fought here. He come from that school in Virginia where they preach a lot of defense, man. So even though he's undersized, about 6'7", he fought, and he also gave us some production on that near double-double. You can't ask for much more, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially with Vucevic, who just got here, and he's even. I know he's taller, but he's even thinner than you. So it was a tough match, and they tried to punish him with both Giannis and Lopez, and at least they held one of the bigs at bay, man. But credit them. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Jared, man. He sparked it. He sparked everything.
Or anytime you get, and I felt like Jared's impact was immediate from the moment he entered the game tonight. From the defensive aspect that you mentioned, it was immediate. He got in the game, and you can feel. I'm sure y'all can feel it seeing it in the arena, but just watching from home, you can see that instantly once he entered the game. The Bucks guards weren't comfortable bringing the ball up the floor immediately, and like you said, him putting that pressure on it, it was infectious. You gotta give him credit for that. That's the kind of thing that can turn the tide in games, especially when you get a team with a little bit less firepower. Big night for him, for sure, from a production standpoint. On to the comments. We got Lizzie Baby out here. Good W. I love what the Wizards did as a team. Kisper and Denny, 52 points combined. He also wanted to shout out JB, Vuk, and Gil, everyone that we've mentioned thus far. It was a team win, and like you said, the crazy thing is The only thing we can say bad about Jordan Poole tonight is some of his shots didn't fall. He did the rest of the point guard things tonight. He was fine. Outside of that, just the shots didn't fall, which we weren't in this place all year to be saying this about him. So credit to him for that. Who knows where we'd be in the standings if we competed like this all 4 quarters of the season.
Still in the lottery, but they want to be at the bottom of the standings. I'm just being realistic. Don't get it twisted. It's a long season. Every team will have bad losses. I go back to, also I had bad losses, had like 30-point L's, but then they turned around, beat the Warriors by like 50. You know what I'm saying? Something silly. It's just
I hold 50.
It's a long season. It goes down like that, but at the same time, don't. They got a bunch of young guys trying to figure it out, and that's just the fact. But I do agree on one part you said. We do wish they would have competed more consistently, starting on the defense and throughout the season. They wouldn't have just 15 wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, not saying they would be in a playoffs either, but it would be better than what it is now, record-wise.
Area 11 season. Shout out the young dog stepping up and leading the show. JP did a nice job facilitating the night. They're making a case to be leaders for next year. He fouled that up with also love what Vuk showed. Gotta stay out of foul trouble, but love his skill set. Hope Bags is okay.
I mean, yeah, we gotta get stronger. You're gonna be dealing with some monsters inside, man. So I'm pretty sure he know that, man. But he has a nice skill set to complement what the other guys have on on the perimeter or whatnot. So he definitely fits, man. But yeah, it's everybody's trying to showcase what they can do, whether it's gonna be here or with another team. And if you want to keep your job, you better produce, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So they have to figure it out. Just think about it. Not to go there and I'm not throwing shade at all. Patrick Baldwin got some minutes early and produced. See, he ain't there no more. Those minutes going to somebody else. And I think Booster did kind of replace him. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Size and shooter. So you gotta produce, man. Show improved league. Simple as that.
Like you said, whether it's here or somewhere else, people is competing and fighting for their NBA lives somewhere, for their livelihood somewhere. It just feels like there's better ball movement, off ball movement with these guys.
I mean, yeah, it's just it is. I think certain guys finally just accepted their roles too damn late. You know what I'm saying? And, Poole came in here expecting to play one way. It took him like over half a season to kind of calm down. And I think he matured and finally stopped fighting. And look what happened. Look what's been happening. He's been playing a lot better. He's getting numbers, and he's not even putting forth half the effort that he was trying to early in the season. And that's how it usually works in basketball. When you let the game come to you, you play an unselfish brand, and you just play smart, and you play hard, good things tend to happen. You know what I mean? So that's all you're saying, man. And some of the young guys are growing up. But keep in mind, Bilal's out. He's not getting the reps. He probably still be helping. Like you said, no Poole. And they got some promising dudes, man. They just got to continue to grow and develop, man. And I like that they're getting wins at this point in the season because these teams are fighting for playoff position right now. They're playing even though Dame was out, Giannis played. You see what I'm saying? So I can see if they would have won, and Giannis would have been like, even though the Bucks should still win on paper, you're like, yeah, but Giannis and Dame. Nah, man, you won with Giannis going nuclear and understanding that they're fighting for playoff position, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to respect that. You can't chalk it up as, man, they rested everybody and they just got wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, pretty much the Bucks, with their loss, I mean, it's done anyway. They only got a few more games, but they got to hold off the Cavs. They 47-28 now, but the Cavs are right behind them at 45-30, and the Knicks and the Magic got 44 wins. They're right behind them. So they go on a nice little slide. I mean, it's more than likely just the Cavs, and they go on a nice little slide with this loss, 2-3 games. They can easily go from 2 to 5th. Now you don't even have home court. And that's with the Pacers, and they got 43, but I don't think they have enough time and enough games to catch them. You see what I'm saying? Because the 76, you only got about the 76, so you only have 6 games left. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, they go on a little 3-game losing streak or something. It gets interesting. So that's why it matters. But Boston basically got the Eastern Conference locked up. So, like, every win matters, man. This was a bad loss, considering what's behind the Bucks.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like you said, this is nothing like a random Tuesday in January where people are resting. Right? No one can afford to lose games right now. That's jostling for position in the postseason. Like you withstood a near 40-point triple-double from Giannis. That wasn't a hey, it's just Tuesday, it's just the Wizards. That man was trying to will his team to victory. Once he saw, like you mentioned, that it wasn't going to happen the facilitator way. He tried to drag them across the line, and Washington held them off. So it's a damn good win.
Yeah, yes it is. Probably the best of the season, honestly. And considering who you got coming in tomorrow, you know, back to back, they just handled the Lakers. They just handled business against Toronto. You know, yeah, man. You know, you want to. The Lakers are fighting. They in a ninth spot in the West, 43 games. Golden State got a game tonight, so we'll see if they keep pace. Yeah, man. Play for something. Play spoiler.
And what's it called? So far, I think when they beat Miami, that was a blow to Miami. They dealt a blow to Chicago, and like the last few wins they've had, those were big blows to teams fighting for playoff position, which is why those wins carry the weight that they do. None of those teams were like, hey, it's Washington, it doesn't matter. Nah, it's Washington, but it matters.
Yes, sir.
It matters. Totally different. We appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, man. We look forward to speaking with y'all after tomorrow night's game. Washington takes on the Lakers. But again, if you're a Wizards fan, you got to go to sleep happy off this one, man. Snapped the 3-game losing streak, missing some folks. 117-113 win over the Bucks, and they held off. Giannis had a monster triple-double, man. Not like he was just here tonight. Again, good win.